Hi, this is Joey Picard with Duxbury Youth Lacrosse. In my program and on my team, we spend a considerable amount of time on uneven situations, a mismatch in numbers, numerical advantage for the offense, fast breaks, two-on-ones, etc. And when we get into this from a team-oriented perspective, we spend a lot of time in what we call uneven progression. And that's what, in this presentation, I'm going to show you what it looks like for us. This is one of those drills where it's more stop and explain than play it out. But the setup is simple and effective, and eventually these players get comfortable enough where you can actually just kind of run this a lot without a lot of coaching. We'll typically get obviously a cage and a crease, a playing area. Half field is nice, but really just a restraining box sized facility will work. And the way this works for us is we have two lines of players. One group of players is going to be our offense. One group of players is going to be our defense. They certainly can switch halfway through, and a coach sort of leading this and again stopping and explaining and making sure that at least on the defensive end we get this right. We'll always start with a 2-on-1, and in this situation we're just taking one player from the offensive line, one player from the defensive line, and an offensive player will start up here top left with the ball, and they can either start with the ball in their stick or coach can roll a ground ball out for them to start. But in the 2-on-1 situation, we're just teaching them to try to draw the defender and dump it off to the teammate. Simple, easy, effective. So in this instance, we tell them to go to the cage until the defender picks up on them and then make that easy pass. 10 out of 10 times the offense has the advantage and should score in this situation. Tough on the defender, but the concept here is to get them to engage with the ball carrier, do their best to stop it, knowing that they do not have a really good advantage here. And this really is the cornerstone of lacrosse, trying to find that 2-on-1 situation. To progress this drill, what we'll do is we'll keep the same three players out there, and we're going to add one more defensive player and a new offensive player. So now we're going to a 3-on-2 situation with two offensive players at the islands and one offensive player with the ball, and our defenders are in an I formation. And again, they're trying to stop ball, and the player in the back is trying to go to where the pass is. The top player is looking to recover as fast as they can. Again, the offense has an incredible advantage here, and so they should be scoring, but we're just trying to teach the defense how to mitigate it as best as possible with their shape. And in this instance, 3-on-2, it's an I formation. And so there's lots of different varieties and ways for them to score. This is not the only way or even the best way, but just a light demonstration on what this drill kind of looks like. Again, we're going to move to a 4-on-3, and we're going to add one defensive player and one more offensive player with the ball up top. Now our defensive players are forming a triangle, and they're going to play this one out, draw, just try to beat the rotation, get a good shot on net. Because there is defense, this is a drill that I am comfortable putting a goalie in the net, but not necessary. They can work on an empty net, no problem. Then we're going to keep all these players out there. We're going to add another defensive player. A new offensive player comes in the mix. Our defense is in a box playing 5-on-4. Again, lots of different ways to attack this. This is just one fun demonstration of how an offense might move, try to find the open man, put a good, decent shot on cage. And then if you're playing 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and we want to do a 6-on-5, totally reasonable. You'll pull up a box and one, very similar concept here. There is a numerical advantage. You just got to find it, let them play it out. Then what we'll do is we'll reset. If you have a lot of kids, it might be the same kids on offense, same kids on defense, but just new personnel. Or you can have them go from the defensive line to the offensive line and vice versa, so the kids can just keep rolling with it. Definitely want to take your time and explain the positioning, explain what's the most important element, which is stopping the ball, and then how the rest of the players can position themselves to be defensively strategic and mitigate any point blank shots as best we can. But again, offense should probably be scoring more often than not when they have the uneven situation. And that's uneven progressions. If you have any questions, any feedback, if you have any variations of this that you'd like to share, or you just want to check in, I'd love to connect with you. I want to wish you good luck this season, and thank you for watching.